Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Tom Rayleigh. Our scenario is entitled Lark in a Cage. It was written by Noah Lloyd and Matt Ryan. Jeff Wilkins is our game master, and this will be episode 5. So, without any further delay, let's continue our journey into the darkness. Jeff?
Thanks, Tom. And two, just a quick reminder, this is still a playtest, so things you see and hear tonight might change from the final rewrite, if there's going to be a rewrite. So last week, you guys pretty much, you started off in the church graveyard, then you decided to investigate the doctor's house, Dr. Greaves, because now we have two doctors. We have Dr. Foxwell and Dr. Greaves. Samson, your condition seems to be slowly worsening as time goes on.
Yeah.
You guys managed to get your way through a secret passage. Not really secret, but it was somewhat hidden in a small pantry underneath the steps of Dr. Greaves' house. So you managed to get yourselves down into the sewers of London.
But we also, before that, we found a picture that Henrietta seems to have recognized her brother Peter, who disappeared when she was 7.
Yep. And do you remember who Peter? There was another connection there. Do you remember?
Peter. Well, he was with the doctor, right?
Right.
Wainwright. Oh, that's Dr. Wainwright Greaves, 1852. Peter West. Is that right? Weg.
Okay, maybe I didn't bring it up then. So then you went down on the sewers. You followed through the sewers. There was a series of arrows that you were able to see. Your vision is slightly enhanced in the dark tunnels, and yet the others aren't. So you guys had to sort of balance out. Samson, you were taking the lead, and Virginia, you were holding the lantern in the back. There was talk of some sort of strategic caterpillar stance or something.
That's the dual attack-a-pillar.
Yeah.
Whereas Samson leads in the front with his sword drawn, and my wonderful husband Saul is in the back with something dangerous or pokey or bangy or something, and I have the lantern. I do have a quick question just for verification. Was the handgun passed from Samson over to Saul?
Yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure everyone's sheet is updated.
Now that you want me to be at the back, my dear, it means if I need to shoot anybody, the bullets are coming flying by your head.
Let's agree to move to the left, and you'll shoot to the right. I'll zig, you zag, Saul.
So you guys found your way through the sewers, and you ended up in another, I guess tunnel would be the right word, although it was vertical shaft.
Right.
With like rungs, like a ladder almost. And you guys chose to go up, and you found yourselves inside of a construction shed that was basically on the grounds where they're currently building the new tunnel system under the Thames. At that point is when you decided it might be best to go back to the church graveyard, and you were going to interrogate
Bartholomew
again, and he complied rather easily, and he led you down into the catacombs where he currently trapped you in. You made it through the church catacombs to find a secret wall/door. You found yourselves in the London Underground, which has some Roman connections. So you found I think it was called a Londinium, kind of like a small house at one point, Roman times.
Right.
There There was a hearth there where it looks like there were some ashes. Samson, you, for some reason, got caught picking up a finger bone out of the ashes.
It was delicious.
And then you made your way further down the stairs, and we ended it where you, Samson, were currently looking upon something at the foot of the stairs that had its back to you, and the rest heard you basically draw your sword cane.
Yeah. So I've drawn my sword cane, and I motion for everybody to stop. There's someone ahead of us, I say to them.
Just down a ladder.
This is just a stair just leading down.
Right.
You there, who are you? Got my key. My sword.
Its face turns and looks at you, and it kind of like lifts its head up. It's chewing on a bunch of bones, and it sort of like sniffs the air, and it ignores you and goes back to chewing on the bones.
I look back at the others.
Can we all see the character, all of us, or is it just Samson just now?
I think for the sake, at some point, you're going to be curious and looking around. So if that's fine, I would ask you, I don't remember if you did it before, Samson, but anybody who didn't can do a sanity roll.
Okay.
Yes. 40.
I actually failed.
I passed.
You gotta pass.
Last.
Louisa, do you remember, did you spend any time in the morgue investigating the bodies?
A little.
A little.
I came across some nasty canid remains.
Okay.
And hurried out fresh air at that point.
So I'll say this. So with a pass, and if you saw those, you can take 0. And I think the rest of you all had direct contact in some way or another. So did anybody fail? I'm sorry, I missed.
I failed.
One fail. Samson, just do a 1d3.
All right. 2.
I think at the moment I'm saying to Virginia and Louisa, stand aside, ladies, and I'm drawing the gun.
And I sort of put my hand just to tell you to wait for a moment. And I'm going to take a few steps towards the thing. And I think at this point I'm kind of brave about the whole thing because I've felt some of the changes and what they mean. So I'm naively walking forward a few steps, and I'm going to say, "I say, you there."
No real reaction. He's intently eating his bone.
I'll go close enough to poke him.
Just to be clear, he's not blocking the stairway. He's just at the bottom of the steps.
Right. I'm yeah. I'm going to get close enough to where I just poke him. I don't want to hurt him, but I'm going to poke him in the shoulder with my sword.
He kind of looks up at you and does a low guttural growl.
And I'll growl back, and I'll make it clear that I want him to get out of the way.
He's not blocking your way.
Okay, well, I want him to get away from anywhere that we have to go. To sort of leave, you know. Shoot.
Can this character see us as well as Samson?
You think so? You saw him lift his head and kind of sniff the air.
I'm surprised he's not attacked us, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna, I don't know, try to shoo him away just so that he goes. It's gonna scare the ladies.
Could everybody do a listen roll?
Wow, I got a 15 out of 40.
2 on 40.
Fail.
That was either really good or really bad.
I got an 8 out of 20.
Wow. Virginia?
32 on 40.
Yes. Okay. So you're a little bit nervous about everything. You have the gun out. Samson kind of give you the hold up symbol. So I'm picturing that you kind of just lowered it a little bit, but you're on edge. So you're kind of focused on this thing at the bottom of the steps. Virginia and Louisa and Samson especially. So you're down at the bottom of the stairs then, close enough to have poked them. Virginia and Louisa, you think you hear something else. I'm picturing you're still on the stairs. Is that right?
Yes, we're behind our father.
Okay. So you're aware of the fact that, like, you're coming down these stairs when the limited lantern light that you have, Virginia, it looks like there's an opening. There's a floor. From what your limited viewpoint, you can see that the floor expands. Samson, you're standing on the floor, I guess, since you're close enough to poke them. And what you see is basically a large, maybe about 40 feet around, kind of like a hexagon shape, about 15-foot tall ceilings, and several columns, like arches.
Yeah. Okay. It's like a big underground catacomb area.
Yeah. There are a bunch of shadows in the center of this room.
Things moving?
Kind of. Not necessarily. Like I'll just say this, there's movement.
Okay. Do I smell anything distinct or?
You particular, not so much.
Okay.
The rest of you are picking up the hints of the sewers.
Yeah. I like the smell. So what's this guy do when I sort of...
He like grabs a bone out of several then connected, I guess, and he sort of slinks away growling, like looking over his shoulder at you, like, you got some nerve here, interrupting my dinner.
Yeah. So I kind of go back to where the others are, and I'm like, family, I don't know what to do. I think there are others down here.
But they didn't attack you. It's like they're more interested in dead bones rather than living creatures.
Saul, my friend, I think I'm becoming one of them.
Don't say that, Father. You're okay. We'll sort it out.
I don't know what to do about it.
We need to find this doctor. He maybe has a cure.
They seem quite happy, Father. If that's any consolation.
You'll enjoy your new life down here, chewing in bones.
We need to find out if this doctor is doing this to others. If he can stop it, if he can reverse it in me. But I don't know that we're going to find him down here. This seems very dangerous for you.
It's very dark down here, though, isn't it? It's very dark and dim.
But I don't understand how this could be caused by someone. But didn't he just jab you with a...
I think he injected me with something.
Father, how sensitive are your eyes to my lantern right now?
It's difficult to look directly at it.
But why, Father? Why would he... Can you talk? Would they? Can you talk to them? Do they perhaps understand you? These things. If he's done it to you, then maybe these poor wretches were just ordinary men.
Saul, protect the others, son. Stay here. I'll go see what I can find out.
Ask if you can communicate with him. Ask about the doctor. I'll protect the woman.
So I'm going to turn and do I still see the one that was right here? You're muted.
He moved out of the way a little bit, maybe about 5 feet away.
Okay.
So he's still in the area, but he's not directly in it.
So I'm going to go back over towards him, but I'm going to lower my sword. And I'm going to say, pardon me, but I was rude earlier, and I didn't mean to be. Do you know where I can find Dr. Greaves? Do you know who that is?
When you say that, there is a rather loud and uproarious cacophony of barking, growling, yipping, gibbering, and meeping.
Meeping.
I like aggressively.
Yes.
From the bigger group?
Yes.
I'm confused. Could you demonstrate what aggressive meeping sounds like?
Meep.
The way I'm picturing it, and I'm not going to try to make the noise, but you ever hear a hyena and you laugh?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
That high-pitched little... That's how I'm hearing it in my head.
I'm with you now. That's actually quite creepy. Now that you've described it like that.
I'm going to go on the defensive just in case. Does this thing say anything to me?
No. It stopped eating and it's just looking at you with a low growl.
So they don't like the doctor.
Maybe they're laughing at me. I don't know. I'm going to, if he's not going to answer, then I'm going to move away from him towards the group in the middle, but cautiously.
Virginia and Louisa, your last listener roll. One of you got a decent roll, I think. Louisa? 14?
I got an 8 out of 20, which was a hard.
Gotcha. After that noise, the growling, the barking, in the midst of all of that too, you've picked out what sounds like a baby crying.
I think I'm just going to instinctively just head towards the sound of the baby.
Okay. Saul and Virginia, are you staying on the stairs or are you making your way down?
I'm like, Louisa, where are you going?
I can hear the baby. I can hear a baby. There's a baby in there.
If you hear baby, then of course I'll come with you, Louisa. Let's find this baby.
This is dangerous, ladies. So I accompany them with the pistol ready.
Okay.
I turn up the lantern to a little bit medium intensity. I want to be sure that, number one, we don't trip, and number two, maybe the light will
Yes.
somewhat camouflage from all of these creatures who are painful in the eye every time they see light.
Yes, well, think about how sensitive Father is already. They must be even more so.
The light might be a better weapon than our gun right now.
Put the light up, dear. Put it up higher.
So I can see them doing that.
Yep, sure. It's to your back. You have your back to them as you're walking. You're walking towards the group, right? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Yep.
Father,
So
close one of your eyes and walk with only one so that you maintain your night vision. It's for your own safety.
I'm probably a little too far away at this point.
Close your eye.
My night vision's just fine, girl.
when you raise the lantern, you hear some additional noises and barks and grunts in somewhat of a protest.
Oh. See, that rubbed the fur the wrong way, didn't it?
I'm gonna. So what can I see now that I'm closer? Now that there's actually a little more light, I can probably see.
Yeah, sure. Yep. So in front of you are roughly about 25 to 30 figures, all hunched over. Some of them are on all fours. Some of them are just crouched down.
Kind of in a circle.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm keeping my eye peeled for the character that attacked us originally right at the beginning. You know, attacked the carriage in case he's here, or the one that possibly we could suspect as Mother's brother.
Okay. Do a spot hidden.
I got a 60, so I don't really know what his brother looks like.
Oh, unbelievable! 0-1.
Oh my gosh. Well,
You've got to give me something, GM. You've got to give me something.
Maybe if I'm nice, I'll let you bank that for something. But at the moment, you do not see him.
So I'm going to go right up to this group. I'm expecting hostile behavior, but maybe they can tell that I'm changing. And so my comment though is going to be basically, what's all of this about?
Could I ask you to do?
Should they do a sniff each other's butt roll so that they all kind of get to know each other?
I guess just do a listen roll for me.
Okay. We got a 20 out of 40, so exactly half.
Okay, that's nice. In the midst of these noises, the barks, the growls, the grunts, you're catching little, maybe 1 to 2 word phrases here and there. Excuse me. So you know, some of them do have some form of language in speaking, and it's English.
Okay. So I'll be like, I don't want to hurt you. We want to understand. What is this? Who are you? And do I hear the baby? Or see
Yes.
the baby?
Yep. The baby is whimpering. Matter of fact, I'll say that since you're close enough now to be talking with him up close like this, there's actually like maybe 2 or 3 younger children. You know, like one looks maybe about 4 years old. One of the older children looks like it might be around 8, and they are in the center
with these things around them. And they're probably sad and, well, they're probably crying and terrified.
They're all very cautious, and you can tell, I mean, clearly they haven't attacked you, so they are on, I guess you would say, very defensive at the moment. So they're shifting about, they're anxious. Some of them look like they're ready to jump at you, but they're not. And
Right.
then you hear a little bit of movement off to your side, and some of the crowd in front of you of these things, they start to part, and one of the creatures sort of like stands up on its two legs, and it's walking towards you now. And as it gets closer, you can see it's hard to justify, it's hard to judge age with these things,
Right.
but it's a pretty good guess that he looks older than all
Older.
of the others.
Okay.
One of the clear definitions is that, I don't know if you remember from the previous episodes, a lot of the some of the bodies that were in the morgue and some of the headstones that you saw up in the gravestone, they had that sort of green mold / lichen,
Okay. Yeah.
and he's kind of like covered in it.
Okay.
His skin is all droopy, and he's approaching you.
So I stand my ground. I'm English. I can't run, but
How are the other three? How are you guys reacting to this?
Have I seen the? Do I know that their children are there? Have I seen the children or anything? I'm having trouble trying to figure out what I've actually seen.
Yeah,
Not like I've seen it and I don't know what the hell it is, but what I've physically seen.
Yep. It's still somewhat, you're in a 40-foot roundish room with a low lit lantern. So the flickering light is making things even look, more shadows are shifting in the flickering light. And it's hard to get a good judgment as to, because these things are shifting and rocking and so forth, it's hard to get a good clear vision of things. The younger, you're pretty sure that the kids are in the center. You don't have necessarily a clear vision of there's the baby, but you're pretty sure that the child or children are in the middle of these creatures.
I'm aware. I'm able to see that there's a circle of terribleness surrounding 3 children.
mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, and how do I see Father? Obviously, Father is, what are you, about 10 feet away?
I should be between you and them. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm encouraging the girls to kind of, if Samson's in front of us, to communicate with this elder creature, then maybe we are kind of just maneuvering around so that we're not either offensive to the old one, but potentially also a little bit closer to the center of the room where the kids are.
I feel like we should. I almost feel like we should try to align ourselves with the gap that was made for when the elder came out. He says that almost the sea of terrible parted, and the elder came out.
That's in front of me, right?
Did they reclose once he exited the circle?
Somewhat. They kind of just stepped aside to let him by, and then
reconvened.
Yeah, I mean it's a loose gathering, so it's kind of hard to say.
We're just letting them through, really.
Yeah.
Just trying to find some angle to get into the children. Clearly, they don't want to eat live people. Even the doctor said that at some point, if my memory serves, they don't like live people. It was Bartholomew that told us that. Do you remember?
Can we see the children from where we are? I mean, are they human children or are they their children?
It's a good question.
Or pups?
So I'll tell you what. Louisa and Virginia, Saul, you can too if you think this interests your character. But Louisa and Virginia, if you want to roll a spot hidden, because you're sort of intently looking for Samantha.
01.
Wow.
I just got a standard pass.
Wow.
01.
Even with the standard, I'll say that you see her. Virginia, there is no doubt in your mind you see baby Samantha sitting. I'll say with your one. I mean, Samantha is Samantha. The other 2 or 3 younger ones, they don't necessarily show signs of these canine features. So it's still kind of, even with the 01, it's still a little bit hard to tell whether or not they're human children or possibly ghoul children. Creatures.
It's Samantha Soul. I'm sure of it.
We must get her. I wish we bought that other baby.
There's other children though, Soul.
Let's see if Father can communicate, because I think if we take the child, we might get attacked.
We've no chance of overpowering them. We're outnumbered, and they look awfully strong.
But get closer if you can. Let's get closer.
Saul, could you do a knowledge roll?
Yeah, it's a pass.
You're very aware of the surroundings. You kind of got your eye out for this other thing that was chasing you earlier. It looks like these arches are opening up into tunnels. So there's various tunnels around you. You remember hearing rumors that underneath of London there was this underground city built upon Roman ruins.
Mm-hmm.
In your readings and rumors, you're pretty sure that this is an old Roman cistern. So it probably held water at some point.
It struck me earlier, is there sound of running water from here as if we're near the river at all? Can we hear any kind of echoes of a river or anything like that in a not too far distance?
I'll say there are definitely like dripping and wet sounds, possibly running water, but you're still you're definitely aware of the fact that you're basically still fairly close to the church.
Yeah.
So you're probably a good mile to 2 miles away from the actual Thames River.
But we smelled the sewer, correct?
Yes.
You said we did smell a whiff of the sewer.
Yes.
So, Louisa, huddle. Keep your eyes peeled for an arrow on any of these walls or any of these archways that lead into the different tunnels. Look for the arrow. Remember, in the sewers, someone had scrawled an arrow on the walls.
Yes.
See if there's an arrow. This may be our only way. We grab the baby and we haul bum to the arrow hole. I ran out of words. I'm sorry. But the idea is solid. I stand by what I said.
So you see Virginia's clearly overcome with words are just not flowing like they usually
Her
do.
language is so unlike the language of the time. But
Is there an
talking a
arrow?
lot about holes.
We must find the arrow.
So let's go back to Samson. So this elder is approaching you.
I'm sort of up on my haunches.
You have haunches now, do you?
Yeah,
That was
kind of the balls of my feet I'm standing on with my heels off the ground. Why not?
Your hackles up.
My hackles are up too. Yeah. What little hackles I have. So I'm. Go ahead.
Yep. He's approaching you, and he's walking right up to you. So
Okay.
he's like, and he starts smelling you.
Okay.
And
Eau de toilette.
there's a look of like confusion that comes over his face. Like he can't make out what you are. But he finally takes a step back and he looks at you, and in sort of a low guttural voice, he says, "How do you know Greaves?"
And I explained to him that we were attacked on the street by what we believe to be one of your kind, and I was injected with something. I believe that Greaves has turned me into one of you. I am changing. And I say, don't harm my family. We are concerned for the babies.
There's a look of, it's hard to find the humanity in his face.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe some of these things you're saying are not sinking in completely.
Okay.
Sort of getting gist of what you're saying.
Right.
And he looks at you and he says, maybe we can work out a deal.
What sort of deal?
We hate Greaves.
Why?
The things that he has done to us, we want him dead.
So we are both victims of Greaves.
Yes.
Then we are allies. We are not enemies. And I say, I turn back to the others and I say, they also want Greaves dead. They're victims also.
Ask him about the baby, Father. Ask him about the baby.
What about the baby? Why do you have the baby? Why do you have the children?
He's not. There's a frustration on his face. We need your kind in order to survive down here.
To eat? Or to make more of you?
Yes.
Yes to both.
He's not laughing. I'm laughing.
Yeah.
If you say Greaves is your enemy, as is mine, if you bring evidence of his death, we will give you back what you seek.
These children have needs that you can't fulfill. Let us take the children, and I promise you, I will come back here with Greaves' head if I can. And if I can't be changed back into a man, I'll stay with you.
No deal. We have what you want. You have nothing that we want yet.
I'm going to take a deep breath and pull myself up to my full 5'1", which was a substantial stature for a woman in the Victorian period. Look at their dresses; they're tiny. And I'm going to walk up to the old thing, but not too close. I'm not that brave. and sort of losing my resolve with every step, I'm going to say, I know where there's one of your children.
Yes.
Do you want it back?
No.
What are we meant to do with it?
Take care of it.
Let us make a compromise. Let us take one child, the smallest one. And we will do as you say. I will bring back this man's head. No?
I'd like to walk up now that I see Louisa and my father are talking with this gentleman.
This is my other daughter.
Hi, Virginia. It's best a curtsy I can do in a 4x5 box. I couldn't help but hear you are also an enemy of Dr. Graves.
And even with your mispronouncing of his name, he knows you're talking about Mr. Greaves.
Yeah.
And you hear
Dr. Graves.
You hear various yelping and barking and howling again. Like just that name is enough to.
You'll have to excuse me. The dampness down here is causing my E's to sound like A's. The Dr. Graves, there's no way we can get him unless we know how to get out of here. We have to go back above ground. But
Do you know where Greaves is? Do you know where he hides?
Yes, we don't go there, but we know where it is.
I will go there and I will kill him.
Perfect. That's what we want. That's our deal.
Tell me where to go.
You see him. He's trying to think this all out, and he turns and he gives another grunt, and a few layers back, another creature starts to come forward. And the elder turns to you and says, "This one will guide you."
I turn to my family and I'm like, do you understand what he is saying? Do you understand the deal?
Yes, Father. We're going to have to kill Dr. Graves and bring proof.
I will do that.
We might not need to kill him. We can just bring him.
No, Saul, that's the deal. Have to kill him. Not in front of Mr. Moldy.
Yeah, but they might enjoy killing him.
Oh.
You're saying this out loud, right?
Yeah.
He just, in a couple short words, he just confirms. He says that would also be acceptable.
Because you want your revenge on him. Yes, I understand.
Give the dogs their dinner.
But my family, will they be safe? Can they go and return?
You have my word, nothing will happen to you. If you break the deal, though, all bets are off.
Then I charge Saul, protect everyone, go and come back or stay. And I turn to the one and I say, show me where this Greaves is.
We're coming with you, Father. We're going to help you get this man.
I don't know where they're going to take me.
We're safer together.
Fine. I can't argue with you.
It says in my notebook, Father, don't split the party. So let's go.
Oh. All right.
Mine's underlined, do not split the party. It's kind of a thing.
All right, fine. Then
Turn
we'll
down
go
the
as we
a little.
we'll go as we've been going. Show me the way.
Okay.
What's your name? Don't say Fido.
Butch.
He just does a yip.
Fluffy. All right. I probably find that I can make the same noises that he can at this point. So, all right. We will follow.
Just curious. I just want to make sure. Let me ask you first, Samson, to do a knowledge roll.
All right. I got a 40 out of 65.
Okay. I just want to point out, you probably know where Greaves is to some extent already.
The tunnel.
At the, I don't know, we thought that he was at his house. At the new construction for the tunnel.
Oh, is it him that's the tunnel guy with the photograph?
No, he's doing something. Now, my character is losing intelligence, so I'm not sure if he can put this together. Let me just see if I can put this together. Yeah, I can. I think that Greaves has been working with.
Let me just real quick. I'll just sorry for interrupting, but we'll just say that as you're walking, you're discussing this amongst yourselves.
Right.
So okay.
I think that Greaves has been working on trying to figure out a way to keep the people who are working on the tunnel from suffering the bends, the pressure problem. And that somehow he's using ghouls. What he's done to me is make it so that I can survive.
Yeah.
It's an experiment of some sort.
Their ability to survive in the subterranean worlds.
And so, is that what he's doing? He's abducting people maybe and infecting them. But why did they attack us? That doesn't make sense. But so I'm thinking that he's at the other tunnel. He's working there. What time though is it? It's late.
It's still maybe like 7 to 8 o'clock at night.
So people aren't going to be working though at this time, are they? Or do they work 24 hours on?
Nah, it's a Sunday night. I mean, it's certainly not. From before when you were at the construction site, when you came up from the construction, there was nobody working on the site then.
Right.
There might still be people there, but not, it's not like a full-blown work day.
All right. So
this thing about the Roman, is there any sign, like as we're traveling, is there any more signs of the kind of Roman structure or paving or kind of aqueduct or, like archways and things like that?
Or is there anything even earlier?
Yeah, that's a good question. You're coming across all sorts of, terrain. Yeah, so you're currently in what appears to be an old Roman cistern. You go through like a hole in the wall, basically, through a tunnel that's been clawed out by hand, and then find yourself in the proper London sewers. And then you eventually find yourself back into some sort of, like Louisa said, with the possibly even older cavern system, like handmade bricks, tile work, maybe. I just want to be clear, though. It is a series of left, right, left, right, left, left. You know, it's a complicated maze down here.
There's a specific proper word, isn't there, for things that are built like that? Layers of different ages upon each other. And I can't for the life of me remember what it is.
And then that one burnt down, so we built another on top.
Yes. That's basically how London works.
As we're also traveling,
this other country invaded, so we built another city on top of that one, on the rubble.
as we're traveling down the kind of tunnels, is there more of the dog people, or is it more like they're all just congregated around that area? I'm just wondering if there's a massive population of them under London as we're traveling, if we're seeing more and more of them, or if it's just more like a village.
Would I ask you to do a spot hidden for that?
No.
You might, especially since you're thinking that, you might think you hear things echoing through the tunnels. Maybe that was a bark. Maybe that was just something sliding. Maybe a rat just got squished.
It is called the Isle of Dogs.
Ha ha ha. I feel insulted. I am not a dog. I am once a human being. All right.
So you're strangely becoming Eastern European. Is that an effect of the virus as well?
Mm-hmm.
Samson, when you're walking, you feel an itch where you were stabbed, and you go down and you scratch it, and it feels like a flake of, like a patch of leather just dislodged itself from your leg.
Like a patch of skin or leather?
Yeah.
All right. I look down at my leg.
You kind of like shake your leg, and this thing falls out into the muck. It's like a big, dried out, nasty looking scab.
What's the skin look like underneath?
Like under where your leg is now?
Yeah.
So you'd have to stop and roll your pant leg up.
All right. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Okay. Virginia, I'm sure everybody sees you doing this. Virginia, are you taking interest, or are you letting him be?
I'd like to take a look. What's the matter, Father?
I don't know. Something came off.
Okay, just fell off, are you?
Yeah.
So you roll your... I'm gonna jump in there. You roll your pants up, and you see that the wound, like I said, it's a big nasty scab that has just flaked off. And right now there's a very perfectly new greenish color of flesh.
Greenish color.
Greenish color, and it's somewhat translucent. There's like a purplish color underneath.
Does it look anything like the other ghouls?
No. Do a knowledge roll, and I'm going to ask you to get a hard.
Huh. 09.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, that's an extreme, actually. Is it? Yeah.
I don't know if you remember or not, but the creature that attacked you in the very beginning,
Yeah.
he was kind of greenish color.
It's kind of greenish. I'm not turning into a ghoul. I'm turning into a goblin.
I'm
So,
gonna ask you for another sanity roll for that.
yeah, I think I'm...
And Virginia, if you're realizing what's happening too, and if you're sharing it with the rest of the family, the sanity rolls can just fall like dominoes.
Okay. I barely passed.
It's just going to be one or two.
Yeah. I'll take one because I'm kind of liking it.
Yeah, nothing is really a surprise at this point. It's just a confirmation that
We will kill this doctor for what he has done to me.
I have the sanity roll, but I almost don't want to tell the family because I'm afraid it might worry them even more.
sure.
Father, roll your pants back down.
All right. Keep
Disgusting.
scratching myself with my extra long fingernails.
It looks like you plucked a big old chunk right off. It's like Samson jerky.
It's nothing.
Take it easy on yourself. Don't pick at it. I have to tell the children in the ward all the time, don't pick at it. No, you don't pick at it, Father. It's only going to make it worse. Perhaps it'll spread if you do that.
So where is Nip taking us?
You know in your head from when you were above ground, you know approximately how far, but you've totally, well, you know what? Anybody who wants to do a navigate roll.
Oh, can I? Can I? Oh, can I? I haven't got a bloody clue where we are. Could be anywhere.
You're in the sewers.
I got a 96.
We're underground somewhere.
96. You're completely lost.
It's dark. It's left, right, left, right, right, left,
Yep.
right.
But eventually, in what takes, I mean, it's hard to keep track of time down here, but it seems like it takes forever. You suddenly get to a point that is like a T intersection. And it kind of looks familiar. You might have been here before.
Everybody, does this look familiar?
Yep, we were down here at some point. Is there any arrows about on the walls?
Do a spot hidden with a bonus.
I got a 00, so I'm apparently scratching.
No.
Well, you know what? You directly asked me. So, you know what? I'll say that since you were aware last time, you're looking at the same spot you saw it last time. And to confirm, that's what you see.
Is Meep still taking us? Or is he stopping here, or is he taking us on the way?
Yes. He's still guiding you, but you can see he's on edge now, too. So it's like, you know, he doesn't look, it looks like he doesn't want to be here any more than you guys want to be here.
Are we going in the direction of the arrow or against the arrow?
You're currently, as soon as you see that first one at that T intersection, you're now following the arrows.
Okay.
So the arrows possibly weren't just to navigate the tunnels; they were really to get him to his destination, if it's a tunnel or somewhere else. I've made sure I've got the gun out just in case he appears.
Okay, sure.
All right. And I'm up ahead. So I'm right behind Meep.
Okay. So after a few more of, you know, left, right, it's confirming your suspicions that you're following the arrows. And he finally gets you to the one last tunnel, and he stops and he just points.
Thank you. Now go get a nice juicy bone.
He scurries off on 4 legs.
Good boy.
Good boy, yeah. That's a good boy. All right, I'm going to, I say, stay here. Well, you can follow, but let me go first.
Okay.
So I'm going to start up or wherever I'm going.
So you make your way down this last sort of tunnel area, and you find yourself, you know, you have traveled this before, so it's all kind of coming back to you. And you realize you've found yourself now, you're sitting at the same T intersection, but it's not a horizontal T intersection, it's a vertical one. So you're back at the tunnel where you climbed up and found yourself in the construction.
All right.
But now you still have the option now to go down.
All right. So I look down and I show everybody that we're going to go this way. And I'll start climbing down the ladder.
I don't think we need to focus on this, but I'll just say it because we talked about it before. But we'll say that the mother character is with you guys, just always sort of hanging in the background. So
Right.
whatever.
Protected.
Yep.
Whatever happens to my husband, I'm just going to go along with it. Become one of whatever he is. I have to stay as my husband.
His mother's still following us. really time to put her in a home, I think.
I don't want to
It's
go.
not normal. It's not normal.
You could always
Followed me all the way down to the shops yesterday in her slippers.
If you push her down the hole, it should be a soft landing if you want to.
I don't want to go among shopkeepers.
Mother, I keep telling you, the Crimea's over. It's safe now. I can go out on my own. The Russians aren't going to get me. Goodness sake.
We all follow Samson down the ladder.
Yep. You get down to the bottom of the ladder, and your ears have popped. So the pressure down here is different. You know from when you climb up the ladder, you're pretty far down underground now. It opens up into kind of a natural looking cavern.
Okay.
So rock sides, the claw marks that you saw earlier, the hand dug tunnels, they're pretty much have gone away. So you're in this sort of natural cavern like. There's a work table. There's the hum of an engine in the background.
Okay.
There's a light, an incandescent light, and there's what's called a moon pool. So there's a body of water, not that big, maybe 40 or 50 feet across circumference diameter. And it looks like a wooden sort of platform that leads into the water.
Like something you would strap somebody onto and lean them into the water?
More like a wooden dock almost.
Okay. Well, is this moon pool, is it big enough that you would actually cross it to get somewhere, or?
There doesn't seem to be any on the other side. It's just kind of this open cavern.
Okay. Well, using my eyes and ears and nose, can I tell where somebody is, or if there's anybody down here, or a passage leading somewhere? Maybe towards the machine, whatever it is.
Okay, I'm going to come back to that. What are the rest of you doing?
I've walked down. I got down off the ladder. Came down with Father. As he's walking around, I'm kind of drawn to walk out onto that dock. Don't know why. I just want to walk out on the dock and listen.
Okay. Saul, Louisa, anything in particular?
I'm going to hang back a bit.
Okay.
I think I'll take Virginia's arm and stroll along the dock with her as if we're away out for an evening walk along the promenade. I'm not going to let her do that on her own. And I'm in,
romantic.
yes, I'm under the ground. Yes. Also, that noise, that engine noise. I want to kind of see if we can spot where that's coming from.
Okay. Saul and Samson, spot hidden, please.
Pass by about 5 points.
Pass.
All right. I'm basically just combining this into an overall sort of knowledge, mechanical spot hidden. So you take a little bit of time to try and look around you to see what's happening here. So you see an old, it looks like an engine, almost like a car engine, even though like I didn't look up when cars were invented, but around this time, 1910, maybe it was the Model T. So we'll just say it's an engine. but it's converted into what looks like, you can see like bellows, like a
Right.
pump. And there's some rubber hoses that are coming off this machine, going down onto the dock and then down into the water.
Does it look like it's pumping water out of the lake, or opposite?
pumping air down to somebody
yeah.
in a diving bell?
It's an inflatable fish.
Look down into the pool.
It's black and murky.
Do I realize what this is? Do I see the hoses and realize what it is on the dock?
Sure, I'll say that.
I'd like to kink one of the hoses and hold it shut and see if anything comes to the surface to breathe.
If there's something down there, like in a diving suit, is there anything other than the air pipes? Is there maybe like a rope or a tether or something?
I'll say yes.
Okay, because what I would do is grab a hold of that and just start pulling whatever it is out.
It looks like there's probably a chain, actually.
A chain?
So heavier than a rope. It's
Okay.
like tied up to the side of the dock, and it goes down into the black, murky water.
Okay. Well, yeah, I look at Virginia and I just sort of put my hand up and I grab a hold of the chain and I start pulling it up.
Mm.
Can I do that? Is it too heavy?
Even for you, it's too heavy.
It's too heavy.
Even if I help him, would I be able to help him do it?
I don't think it would help.
Do we know how to turn off the engine?
Yeah, that's another possibility.
Let's wait a moment and see if there's anything else in this area before we do something. What if he's just experimenting on something and it's down there? We don't want to kill it.
While he's down there, he can't see us going through and rummaging through all of his things. Is there anything of any consequence up here? Let's take a look around.
Do we know that's definitely him down there?
No. It could be an experiment that he's doing on some poor guy. Let's look around, see what else is here.
That doesn't take long at all because it's pretty empty. You might see like a shovel in the corner, maybe some tunnel digging equipment of some sort. I know that's vague, but like things like, in other words, he may have been up on the construction site and grabbed a few things and stolen a few things and just brought them down here, but nothing really of note is what I'm getting at.
Is the water actually water? Does it smell? Is it just dark down there, or is it something else?
I'll say it's mostly water. You're still in the sewer system.
Oh, okay.
So,
ew.
Yeah.
What on earth could be down there that he wants or needs?
Well, if he has a way to get up and down, maybe we can make him think that he's running out of gas. We can flip the engine off and on a couple times, and he might come up to check what's going on, and we ambush him.
Yeah, I think that's a good plan. Somebody should hold the sword cane ready, and I'll have the gun ready.
I'm going to give it to Virginia.
Does the pipes
Anything fun
that go in, does it look like it's to service one individual, or is there multiple pipes or anything like that?
The rubber hose going down?
Yeah. Is it just like the one hose?
There's probably two that are probably around like this big around.
Right. That's okay.
So, if we can figure out the way the engine works.
Well, I'll be honest with you. Virginia came up with a clever idea.
Yeah.
Kinking the hose? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And then once
ahead,
it's
yeah.
coming up, then we can
Suffocate the blighter.
He'll only suffocate if he doesn't come to the surface. And you'll see him coming because there's bubbles. Are there any bubbles? There has to be bubbles.
Yeah, I'll say, well, to answer your question, there doesn't have to be bubbles.
Only if it's a two-way bellows system.
right.
From the Duke of Bellows.
The air going in and the air coming out. There's two tubes, right?
There's two tubes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the air of bellows.
So you cramp the hose, or hoses, one or two. Are you doing one or both?
When I kink the first one, does one of the sides of that hose suck shut?
I'm not going to try to figure out the math. So whatever you're thinking, I'll say yes. How's this? So the engine that's pumping?
There's a suction line and there's a pressure line.
Yeah.
I want to be sure that I get the pressure line. That way the suction line sucks anything that he has out faster and he'll choke or he'll come up. One of the two.
Yep. Gotcha. You hear the engine kind of rev up a little bit like it's struggling now to... and now it's just a matter of waiting.
Saul goes down on one knee and just the pistol holding his hand like that, just for the edge of the jetty, so he's not too high.
Yeah.
When he comes to the surface, but yeah.
Don't just kill him. We want to talk to him first.
I want to give him to the dogs.
Cover.
On a side note, I think we are one of the most badass families right now. Right this moment, we are the baddest ass family in this whole Gaslight era. Just saying. Okay.
We are.
Your father is a dog.
I think Henrietta is now going through plans right now in her mind to like somehow sew you guys all your own like uniforms.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, so seems like it's taken forever, but suddenly you hear something. There's a shift. There's a few bubbles that come up into the water. And something's happening. You see the chain moving. And after another long period of time, this basically it's a submersible comes up out of the water. Big splash of water. There's a larger access entryway.
Right.
And it's got one of those like wheels on it, you know, to
Right.
enter like a submarine door hatch sort of thing.
So it's like a diving bell. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's pretty big. It's maybe about 40 or 50 feet long.
Almost a submarine. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Good Lord.
Well, I'm rather shocked. I wasn't expecting that.
Steal your nerve soul.
Everybody get in. Get under cover. There might be a whole crew of people in there.
Mm. It's not a lot to cover behind here. You're pretty much in an open cavern.
All right.
Wait, there was a table. He said there was a table.
Mm-hmm.
So
Hide under the table.
No.
Duck and cover.
Push it over so that it's the face of it is towards the submarine and we can all get behind it. But except you, Saul, because you have the pistol.
Quickly, bring the table, girls.
We can
Bring
get
it.
mostly behind it.
Yeah.
Quickly, Father, conceal yourself behind my fashionable profile.
All right.
You see the door, the wheel on the door start to spin. And then suddenly it bursts open and you hear a loud gasp of... and you see a little wiry kind of hair's a mess. The guy pops his head out, and he just starts looking around. What the bloody hell is going on?
Dr. Greaves.
I was going to talk to him. I thought we were going to wait until he comes out.
I thought he was out. We see his hair, for fuck's sake. I thought we could see him.
Language, my dear, language.
For frog's sake.
Get out of that device and come out of here, Dr. Greaves.
He's completely shocked. He was not expecting this at all. You've completely taken him by surprise. How did you get that?
I'm going to leap over the table and run up onto the submersible and grab a hold of him and pull him out.
Okay.
I am going to strike a suffragitsu fighting pose.
Yes.
That I was taught by Mr. Barton Wright.
Yes. I'm aware a little bit of my history. I'm aware of their karate practices.
Why
You,
do you do this to me?
You kind of lift him like a rag doll.
Uh-huh.
He's an older gentleman. He's probably, I don't know, late 50s, early 60s.
I've got him by the back of his neat little lab coat.
Can I just ask, Jeff, what I think might be rather an important and apposite question from the perspective of role play to ask at this moment. This gentleman who's come out of the submarine, is he the gentleman who we encountered when the coach crashed?
Nope.
Okay.
But is he the Dr. Greaves that we saw in the picture?
Yes.
Okay.
Older. The picture was taken a long time ago.
Right. So I lift him out by the scruff of his neck, and I pull him or drag him over to the shore. Why did you do this to me? And I deposit him on the shore.
All in the name of good science, my young man.
I'm not young, and I'm almost not a man anymore.
The same awareness is going through my head as Louise. Now, obviously, he isn't the guy that attacked Samson.
Right.
One of his minions he sent.
Yeah, I just shout out, where is the other one that attacked us?
Peter.
Do I know how to close the door on the submarine before he answers that?
I mean, it's just a hatch, like it's just opens with the wheel, but it would just mean you would have to sort of jump across off the dock onto the submersible. And your father did it, and he made it look really easy, but it's
He's a beast, though. He's an athletic beast. Look at
right.
him. In a good way, Father. You look fantastic, really.
Thank you.
My point is, what I'm trying to get at, I'm not doing it just for agility funsies or to make things clean and svelte, but if there's someone else in that submarine vehicle, I want them to begin to suffocate also, so that if they do rush to come out, they're not going to be in any kind of condition to attack us. Because if the man who did attack you, Father, is in there, remember, he's very fast. He's very springy. But if he's got no air...
Just close the damn door.
There you go. Thank you. Very well. Closing.
Okay. Yep.
I want you to know where my mind's at. That's all. Okay.
So I put my hand like this on the guy's throat. And I'm like, explain yourself.
Well, he's really surprised the fact that you called him Peter. And he looks like you're like, Peter?
Yes, that woman over there who's knitting, that's her, that's Peter's sister. I'm married to her.
He's completely shocked. I don't know where Peter is. He's not here.
We don't care where he is, but we want to know what's up. What's this all about? What have you been doing? You have one chance to explain yourself.
Wow. I mean, how do I relay 40 years of research to someone who I'm not even sure would even understand me?
Very quickly, I'd say, unless you want my father to drown you.
You've been experimenting on the ghouls of London. You found some way to turn me into one of them.
He corrects you. He corrects you. He says, "Not one of them. A hybrid. Better."
Oh, well, that changes everything.
Okay, then let's go home. Well done, Father. You're now a hybrid.
Fantastic. Now, is this the exit here?
What about the kids? Well, the kids. If it weren't for the fact they're stealing children.
Well,
He actually.
ask him about an antidote.
Can you change me back?
I mean, it might be in my notes, but I don't know why you would want that.
Because I have a family.
I think at this point it's getting more and more clear the more conversation you try to have with him. This guy's a loon. This guy is clearly insane, and it's not easy to hold a normal conversation with him.
If it's such a great thing to be, then why haven't you done it to yourself?
You've caught me. I've not perfected it.
Did you change Peter, or did he volunteer?
He looks around, like to make sure Peter's not listening. I'm not crazy. I'm not insane. I wouldn't do that to myself without testing it first.
You scum. Let's take him back to the dogs.
We prefer ghoul.
Oh, I'm sorry, Father.
He tenses up, like, what do you mean take him back to the ghouls?
We're trying to rescue the children.
Yes, they've got a bone to pick with you.
There is a meme tune just now that goes something like
The whole thing's been the wind up to that show.
Get my coat.
5 episodes for that.
and Louisa goes on in the future to have a career in comedy, the first stand-up comedian female.
No, we're
that joke, copyright Little Titch,
we
1876.
We figure we'll make a deal with the ghouls to get those children back by giving you to them.
And he looks absolutely terrified now. He's clawing at your arm. He's trying to get away.
Yeah, you can't get away.
I would ask you to roll it. You don't need to.
Yeah.
You just knock him out or something.
No, I want him awake.
Yeah, but at least until we transport him,
Well, terror's fun. We can get all sorts. Besides, let's play with him for a while.
Father, what if he calls Peter?
I don't think Peter's here.
But he looked around as if he were looking to see if he was.
Yeah.
I lean in really close to the guy's face and I say, why did you have Peter attack us?
I think you were just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
He wanted the baby, the changeling. Why? Why was it changed in the first place?
Right.
He's struggling to put all the pieces together in his head. He's kind of relaying this to you. I was afraid you figured it out. I was afraid you found out that the child was not Samantha. So if I could grab the non-Samantha, it probably would have stopped you from continuing at that point.
So you've been following us from the beginning.
I've had my eyes on the Gregory's.
But why are you doing this? What purpose?
How much do you know about the ghouls?
Not much. They eat the dead.
They live for hundreds and hundreds of years on very little sustenance.
In the dark, in the shadows.
If I could figure out what it is that makes them live for that long, I could have the cure. I could live forever.
Well, maybe you will feed their long life with your bones, little man.
Yes, I can assure you, you won't live forever.
I would maybe imagine that at some point Henrietta's going to burst out and start battering him and saying, "Why did you steal my brother?"
Stabbing him in the face with a knitting needle.
Hitting him with a kipper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
That's all going to happen in the director's.
she's doing that over there. Yeah.
So we're getting back to the goals then.
Why should we keep you alive?
Why would you want to kill me? Why?
Where are your notebooks that you spoke of a moment ago that the cure may be in your notes? Where do you keep your notebook?
It's down in my lab. I could take you there.
Under the water.
Under the sea?
Why is your lab down there?
Pressure.
And you look surprised that you figured it out.
Is that it? Pressure pushing down on you?
Under pressure?
Oh boy.
So what do we do, Father?
Well, first of all, I will say this, Virginia, nothing seems to be happening with you. You know, you kinked off the air and nothing, you don't hear anybody banging or yelling or screaming.
Douglas, it's time for us to take a boat ride then, down to the lab. Let's fix Father first. If we can fix Father...
Feels like a trap.
Can you cure him?
I mean, there's no guarantees. I haven't been able to cure Peter yet.
Have you given him the antidote that's in your notes?
He looks around again. He doesn't know about it.
Did you kidnap Peter?
Yes, he did.
Yes.
It's a nasty piece of work.
Well, I'm going to grab him by the arm and force him towards the submarine. Take us to your lab. And if you try anything, I'll rip your head off.
He can do it also. He's grown great strength. Bring it right off, one swoop.
He looks a little bit confused and he says, no, that is my lab.
The boat itself is your lab?
Yep.
Oh, fancy that.
It's a pressurized container.
Well, then why don't we just go in and get your notes?
Sure.
Is there anyone else in your lab?
No.
Okay, Louisa. Now's your chance to shine. You're the one about his size.
Oh, I will. In that case, I'll scamper up on the top and attempt to open the hatch.
Yep.
What?
Oh, dear. There we go.
Some kind of crazy horse inside that.
Oh, I think I just prolapsed.
There's a ladder leading down. It's not that far. It's only about maybe 10 feet. It's lit up inside. It looks like it's lit up by some incandescent lights, electric lights.
I'm going to shout out outside. What am I looking for?
Notes.
Notes. A notebook. Possibly a note.
I'll have a look around for the notes.
I'm going to ask you to do a Constitution roll.
That's a fail.
You lose your lunch/dinner, whatever your last meal was. It comes up. It's awful smell. I mean, you thought the sewers were bad. This is worse.
Oh dear. I'm going to put something over my face, a handkerchief over my face, and hurriedly apply myself to searching for the notes.
It's basically, you find yourself kind of in a long hallway. Not that long, maybe about 40 feet, 30 feet. There's a couple doors. One looks like it opens up into a bedroom. There's actually a small wooden crib at the foot of the bed. It's empty. There's a series of old photographs, well, new photographs, that look like, possibly relatives, family photos. There's a small bookcase with several books scattered about. And I'll ask you to do a library roll.
Oh, that's a pass.
Okay, perfect.
That's a hard
So
one.
it doesn't take you long at all to find the one book that's called The Diary of Wainwright Tamora Greaves. There's several other medical texts. There's also a copy of The Duchess of Malfi.
Oh. I'm going to I'll take the book and I'm going to pick up the photographs and stick them inside the notebook. But just before I leave, I'm just going to sort of just flick through the copy of the Duchess of Malfi just to see if there's anything in it.
Nothing. It just looks like a well-read copy.
Just a book. I'll have a look under the bed, I suppose.
Yep, nothing else of interest in the bedroom. I will say this, though. Do a listen roll.
It's a pass. Just.
You can make your way out of the bedroom back into the long hallway, and at the end of the hallway, there's another sealed door with one of those spinning handles, hatches.
I'm going to put my ear to the door.
It's kind of got a glass on it, but it's all dirty and fogged up. And
Oh, well, I shall take the handkerchief that I have been using, holding against my face, and I shall just
unfortunately, it's on this side of the glass. It's on this side. But it sounds like
okay. What about if I open the door?
Yep. It sounds
Clean
like
the glass, shut the door, and then look through it?
Yep. That would work.
Could I do that?
Yep.
Can I knock on the door?
Yeah, it sounds like there's something or somebody in there.
Well, I'm going to go back up to the hatch then, and holding the book aloft, and I'm saying, I've got the book, but he's got someone in there. What's going on in there, Doctor? Who is that? Who have you got locked up in there? Is it Peter?
No.
Who is it?
I don't like to use who's and names. It's subject number 428.
Oh, well, I'm going to rush straight back in there. I'm not having this. I'm not having this at all. And the human experimentation. I'm a member of the Anti-Vivisection League, you know. I'm not having this at all. I'm going to rush in there and open the door.
You start to turn the wheel, and matter of fact, you look to the side. There's another room, and in this room, from where you're standing in the hallway, it looks like there's two tables, like almost like a gurney almost. There's blood all over the floor, dried old caked on blood. There's skeletons, there's bones, looks like there's fresh body parts in jars on the wall.
Good God.
You manage to spin the wheel, and you hear a sudden hissing of air pressure. And you see a man who's kind of curled up in a ball, and he looks up at you with a little bit of a pleading eye. Can I ask you to do a knowledge roll?
Ooh, 12. That's a pass.
Perfect. Even though he seems to have lost all his hair, he's naked, his skin is almost translucent. He's got a sharp, protruding canine teeth. There's still a moment where you can recognize that element of he was human, and you recognize him from the photo that Dr. Foxwell gave you of his missing partner, Raymond.
Oh my goodness. Are you Raymond?
He just nods his head.
Oh, please come with me. Come, we've come to take you away. Please come. And I'll start looking around for a sheet or a blanket or something that I can put over him.
I'm going to ask you for a sanity roll.
I thought you would. No, I've got an 82. I failed that.
Be prepared. It's a 1d6.
Oh, bugger.
The conditions and the state that he's in is rather horrible.
2.
Okay. Starting to get used to seeing things like this.
I'm shaken, though. Still, it's unnerving.
He's kind of like just hovering on consciousness. He's kind of in and out of consciousness.
I shall wrap him in a blanket or something, and I'll call for help from outside. I'll call for Virginia.
Okay.
She's a nurse.
I'm on my way, Louisa.
Oh, sure, he's someone else, are you?
I'm gonna ask you for it, Virginia. Constitution roll, but I'll give you a bonus because you've smelled things like this. Not like this, but
Yeah, let's see, 48. Oh, 48. Yeah, it's Constitution.
okay. So it's just you've skilled yourself to it. So I'll say this then. You managed to help Louisa. You get him somewhat covered. And he manages to stumble upon his feet, and eventually you somehow get him up and out of the submersible.
What have you done to this man, you beast?
You bounder. What? Your horrible experiments.
I'm going to pick something up and throw it at him. I'm not sure what, but I'm just going to throw something at him.
Well, I squeeze a little bit tighter.
Don't break him, Father. He's very wiry.
Yes. He lets out a little squeal. Pain.
How could you do this to another human being? You're a disgusting man. A disgusting man.
It's in the name of science. I could live forever. The knowledge.
Sir, you are a cad, and those animals in the caves are more human than you are. You animal. Let's get him to the goals.
I think that's fair.
Can I look through the book? Can I look through the book to see if I can find something that we can fix Father with?
Okay, sure.
The part we need may only be here in his submersible.
Through a combination, I'm just going to kind of fast forward a little bit here. I'll say that you've captured Greaves, that you've captured the crazy mad scientist doctor. He struggles to get away from you, Samson, but it's, no problem. You've got him by the scruff of the neck.
Sometimes I let him go just a little to give him hope, and then I just snatch him back.
And you guys are back in the tunnels. You're making your way back to the ghouls. Virginia had messaged me. She was making marks on the wall as you guys travel. So, you know what? Actually, at some point, you get about maybe halfway, and you meet up with the same Meep, as you call him, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So he was kind of like waiting for you. He just was not anywhere near the lab. So he's like almost glad to see you. And he continues to guide you then the rest of the way. In that process, Virginia, you have the lantern, so I'll say that you are walking and sort of reading and stumbling at the same time. But could I ask you to do a medicine roll?
27. 27 on 40. Pass.
Okay. Let me see if I can read this here. I'm not sure. So basically, it's a leather-bound journal. It's meticulous handwriting. It's a thick diary. It details about 40 years worth of experimentation. So it's actually going to take you time to sit down and go through the whole thing to learn everything. But you're specifically, I understand, you're specifically looking for some sort of cure or something. So with that roll, I'll say that at some point towards the back, you think that he has indicated there's not necessarily a cure in the sense of a serum or an antidote, but because this is so closely related to the Caisson's disease, that the answer seems to be a sudden decompression. In other words, you have to first get them under severe high pressure first, and then what would normally probably kill a normal human being, you then have to suddenly release the pressure, and that will possibly reverse the disease, if you want to call it that.
Perfect.
I'll say that Raymond is sort of in and out of consciousness. So if you have any other specific questions, maybe he could answer them. Okay.
I'm not sure.
Anybody else, or just move on?
Yeah, Henrietta wants this whole thing explained to her, what her relationship is with that doctor, because she doesn't get it.
Well, he kidnapped your brother, Mother.
That's correct.
Yes, man deserves to be fed to the ghouls. I want to watch.
He's a beast.
Yep.
He's been experimenting on people down here for 40 years.
Maybe Virginia could teach these ghouls a thing about cooking, since apparently I couldn't.
It was one soup, Mother. And really, we're going to talk about it in the soup after all the stuff we've been through. We're going back to the soup. Christ.
All right. So do we get to the ghouls?
You get to the ghouls. They are waiting for you. They almost sensed that you were coming. They could smell it. There's like another cacophony of...
Yeah.
They're extremely excited that you've done this.
My family, they need the children. They go, you have him.
He brings forth Samantha and he holds it out to whoever will take her.
I'd like to take her so I can check behind her ear, check her teeth, make sure it's Samantha, since I talked to the doctor, the original Dr. Foxwell, and he told me the many things about her.
Sure. Yep. I'm not even going to make you roll for it because of your previous knowledge. You know what you're looking for, so you do a glance like that, and it's confirmed. That's Samantha.
I'm largely concentrating on looking after Raymond.
Okay.
Yep. Okay.
I suggest, Virginia, that you get the other baby, and you and Saul raise it and bring it back to me once it starts to meep.
Once it starts to meep.
The other baby, yeah.
Which other baby?
The Samson twin. The
Samantha V 2.0.
The ghoul.
The one back at Gregory's.
Samantha ghoul. The other children that are there, are any of them human children or the ghoul children?
The elder stops you and he's like, that wasn't part of the deal.
I'm pretty sure Father said the children.
No, but as in our observation, do they look like human children?
Maybe. I mean, you might have to
Yeah.
get close and have Virginia do some sort of medical, check their teeth. And...
Saul whispers to Virginia, would you like to adopt a child? We could maybe...
Henrietta's like...
We could maybe convince the elder to give us a second one.
It shouldn't take me this long to think about this. The answer should just snap to me and be like, no, I don't want to adopt a child. But hold Samantha. Here, Saul, hold Samantha for a moment. Actually, here, Henrietta. Mother, hold the baby.
How long has Henrietta been waiting for you to say that?
Hold the baby. I'd like to speak to the elder and ask permission to check the other children and make sure that they're in good health.
All right, I'm going to give you a choice. You want to role play the heck out of this, or do you want to roll? You feeling lucky?
I've had a lot of good rolls tonight, and I learned my lesson about too many good rolls in a row the other night. In the interest of time,
yeah,
I'll roll it.
Okay.
I don't even know what I'm rolling, but it's a 2.
That's
Woo!
Good enough.
That's my girl.
So yeah, it takes quite a bit of convincing. The elder was not going to, in his mind, that was not part of the deal. You were supposed to just get Samantha back. But with a lot of pleading and possibly persuade or fast talk or charm, you managed to talk him into it, and he releases the other child. Okay. The third younger child, like the one that was around 8, that actually he had clear signs of having canines.
We're going to let that one go.
Yes, we'll leave it a bone.
All right, boys. This is it, Doctor. Anything else you want to say?
He's just pleading with you. You know, he knows what's in store for him. Take me with you. Take me with you. I can help you.
I'm going to take the two.
Everything you're going to get, you beastly man.
I hold him out like this, and I go, well, you got one chance in a million. Run. And I let him go. It's gonna be good.
I cover the eyes of the children, Father. Children.
Just take them. Go.
I cover my eyes.
I don't know where to go. We didn't ask how the hell to get out of here. We have to go all the way back through the tunnel?
Up the ladder.
Up the ladder, yeah. All the way up the ladder.
But once we're back there, the door is locked. Bartholomew slammed us down here.
So here, I'll fast forward a little bit. So you release him. He takes off running down one of the tunnels in a blind panic rage. And the group, the ones that are not the children, well, even like the 8-year-old, they chase him down. And they get out of sight, and the sounds that you hear of him basically being ripped and torn apart. He's screaming in agony.
Do we see down the corridor maybe the shadow reflecting of bits flying and, dogs jumping over each other? And...
Yep. It's a feeding frenzy. I'm going to ask you for a sanity roll for that, though.
Way to go, Saul.
Is father feeling hungry?
A little bit.
I passed. I got a 9.
Tastes like chicken.
Passed on 35.
Just
Passed.
Jules eating a bloke.
I lost.
Okay. Just do 1d3, Samson.
3.
I've lost a total of 6.
Okay.
I'm feeling a bit queasy and sick.
Yep. I mean, you went from a nice Victorian family just a minute ago to you just led and handed over a man to his death, and a horrible one at that.
You have to all leave.
But maybe he deserved it. So
you don't have to stay, Father.
I have to stay. How can I live in the world out there?
Because you're
Virginia can find a cure.
I've got it already, Father. How easy was that?
I'll help you get out by opening the door where Bartholomew is.
And then you're going to come with me back to the submarine.
I can't go out there if it's daylight.
Well, then we'll take the tunnel. We got the arrows. We know the way now.
I'm really hungry.
You won't be, Father. Or if you must, if you absolutely must, I think there's another finger in that fireplace.
Mm.
We know the soup was bad, but it wasn't that bad.
At this point, we've seen you eat a human finger. I don't think the shock is going to be nearly as bad the second time around.
Henrietta's going to hand you the baby and say, I have to stay with my husband.
Father, you're not staying down here. I can cure you. I've got it. It's in his book.
Why do we have to go back to the umbrella? The umbrella? The umbrella. the submarine. You got his book.
Because you need to be pressurized and then rapidly depressurized. Raymond, who is now hanging out with Louisa. Raymond, who's hanging out with Louisa, was in a pressurized chamber.
Then do we? Well, geez, we're so close to getting out.
Once
I mean, Raymond can't go back there.
Roll up the ladder.
Should Louisa and Raymond go? And Saul go with them. And Virginia will come with me. And I'll protect her.
Well, surely if you've got a cure, should we not try and cure Raymond so that he can go back to his old life too?
Well, is Raymond changed at all?
He had canine teeth.
But
his hair's fallen out.
Didn't you just now depressurize him?
He was quickly depressurized when Louisa opened the door.
Oh. That's a point.
But Father, we can come back and visit you if you want to stay here, and Virginia can cure you in the submarine. You can come and visit for the weekend.
Virginia, could you do a medicine roll, and I'll give you a bonus.
You could have turkey, and I could eat the bones.
O2. Well, from 42 to O2.
O2. Okay, perfect. So in the process of this conversation, Raymond is still in and out of consciousness. Raymond relays to you, and with your medicine, you're sort of aware of the fact too that he tells you that he was in the submersible in that pressurized chamber. It wasn't good enough. It wasn't pressurized enough. It was basically enough to halt the progression of the disease, but it wasn't enough to cure him. And he looks at you and he says, there's another answer.
You need to go deeper.
What's the other answer, Raymond?
Anybody? Let's bring it
Did it
to
involve a cannon?
No.
Oh.
Let's bring it to a knowledge roll.
97.
I passed my knowledge roll.
Neither I nor my character have a
Okay. So
tunnel.
Pass 37.
there you go. Yep. The tunnel that's currently under construction has a series of air pressures.
So I need to go down into the tunnel.
Right.
But then how do we suddenly release the pressure without...
It's actually, that's how they're constructing it. It's using air pressure. So there's the same sort of, that's how they keep the water from the Thames out of the tunnel as they're digging it.
Right, right.
So they have a pressurized, it's actually, there's one at both entrances. So you could go to either one. So they have it's the same sort of thing. There's a lock, you go in, they close it, build up the pressure inside the tunnel. The workers go in, they do their work, they come back into the chamber again, and they slowly bring it up. But with knowing what you know that the key answer is not to do it slowly, it's to actually suddenly.
Okay, and nobody's working there right now. So
Correct.
Let's go. It's nighttime now. What? It's probably about 10:30, 11.
Yeah, it's getting pretty late. At some point, you easily get out of the tunnels. You've navigated them enough now, so you can travel above ground. It's probably faster. You get to the entrance to the tunnels. It's dark. There's nobody around, and you're going to have to go down a slope, and then you see the airlock in front of you. Could you guys give me a sense of what you're doing, how you're approaching? You're just kind of...
Well, you've got to kind of figure out how the thing works.
Yep.
And then I guess I get inside and Raymond and I both get inside.
Yep.
And then they pressurize it and then they open up the door.
Okay. Does anybody have...
pressurized? Does it say in the book?
I'm sorry, what?
How long should we leave it under pressure? Does it say in the book?
It doesn't really say. It seems as though the key is not necessarily the length of time. It's just the sudden release of pressure.
The explosive decompression.
The nitrogen, I guess.
All right.
Does anybody have mechanical or operate heavy machinery by any chance?
I do. I got a 70.
That's pretty good.
So I roll. I got a 28. So I'll say you push this button, then this button, then you flip this thing over, and then when that hits, I don't know, 80 psi, then you flip that switch and open the door and
Yep.
be instantly depressurized.
Okay. So you and Raymond are entering the chamber. The wheel lock, you close the door. Who's closing the door? Saul, Virginia, or Louisa?
I'll close it up for him.
I saw Saul first, sorry.
Okay.
Saul, you kind of lock him in. Could Virginia and Louisa do a listen roll for me?
I also tell them that it's going to blow the door out. So
Hard success.
You hear a noise behind you.
I turn to see what it is.
There's a figure in the dark standing there, kind of silhouetted against the background light.
It's Peter.
Peter, is that you?
Peter, my brother.
There's a hissing noise, and he crouches down.
I prepare the door to prepare to open the door back up.
Uncle Peter, this is the cure. Can you understand me? This is the cure. We can cure you all.
Saul's got the gun out.
The doctor never told you. He knew how to fix this that ails you. Also, I have a decent persuade. Maybe I could persuade you to get into this chamber.
I'm going to make you decide. You're going to either have to persuade or you're going to have to start cranking on that wheel to get it back open again.
Well, if they get it open, then I'll be like, Peter, come on.
You keep open the door. I'll reason with him in a persuasive manner.
Louisa, you
Dear
should probably
Uncle,
clear the vomit
please,
from your beard.
Please listen. You don't know me, but I'm your niece.
There's toothy, thin, small, white teeth, pointy teeth. The grin goes ear to ear again. He smiles at you, and he starts to run down the tunnel towards you.
Henrietta's going to jump in the way. Peter, I'm your sister.
He sideswipes her.
Schwank.
Brother.
Backhand.
I shoot him.
Right, I'm going to adopt the posture known as the leaping Pankhurst.
All right. I heard shoot. I heard a fight, brawl.
Did you hear my dog do an enormously loud fart just then?
Virginia, what are you doing? You're getting the door open, right?
Still turning this wheel. How long-winded is this thing?
Do a dex roll. I'm just curious what you get.
30
That's
on
good.
something.
So as soon as these two act, Samson, you can join the fray.
Okay.
Saul, how'd you do?
Unfortunately, I can't shoot, but here it goes. I missed.
Okay. Louisa?
I'm going to try and trip him up as he comes towards me by sort of sidestepping and leaving a foot out, much in the manner of Chun, Master of Shinanju, in the wonderful film Remo Williams.
Yes.
Whatever it's called.
Trip, would that be a maneuver or a dodge? You're trying to trip him. I'll say it's a maneuver.
I'd say it's a maneuver. It's a fighting move.
Fighting move, yep.
Yeah.
Of course, I am Chun.
I just rolled a 5.
Oh, nice.
So that is an actual bloody extreme. 5 out of 45.
You trip him good. He goes sprawling onto his stomach. At that point, you realize he's actually naked. And Saul, I don't know if you remember, but when you tackled him, remember I said you felt something underneath his jacket?
Mm-hmm.
He has another 2 sets of arms, or 1 set of arms. They're basically non-functional, although they do twitch. So all 4 arms sort of spread out as he sprawls onto the ground on his face. At this point, Virginia, you managed to just get the door open, and Samson, you're free to act.
I'm gonna leap out onto his back.
Okay.
Drag him in, Father. We can do everyone in one shot.
Ask him if he needs a hand.
I try to sort of half Nelson him with 2 arms under here and 2 arms over here.
He's quite harmless.
And I try to pull him into the chamber with me.
Wow, okay. That's a maneuver. You're trying to grapple him, basically.
Yeah.
He's deformed, just put him down.
Are you fighting?
Well, I
man-on-man?
might snap his neck if I have to.
That was
I got 20 out of 55, so that's better than half.
Okay.
It's my wife's brother. Can't just snap his neck.
I just rolled a 100.
Ah,
Hey.
Grapple him.
One of his arms fallen off.
He knocked himself out.
Yeah,
Calm
so you get him in like a, what do you call it, full Nelson,
yeah,
drag him into the
Double Nelson. He's got 4 arms.
yeah.
Virginia cranks the door closed again. Samson explained the process to Saul and Louisa. They're pushing buttons and machines are spinning up, and you're hearing the whirl of pressure. And
Wait, am I going to lose my super strength?
We're doing this and while patting the baby, you know.
If only we had an extra set of arms.
What happened to the baby? No, Henrietta's got the baby. She was dashed to the floor. Okay. Big final, flip the switch. The air pressure gets suddenly released. Virginia, the door opens. You have to crank it open again. The door opens, and you see the 3 of them are all laying on their backs, apparently unconscious.
I run up and check, make sure they all have pulse and make sure they're alive.
Yes,
Yes, I can do that, or yes, they're all alive.
both. Yeah.
All right. They're all alive, Saul. They're all alive, Louisa. Time to
Yes.
celebrate. I think.
Plus 1d10 sanity. Fantastic.
Pick 1 to do a medicine roll.
On my father.
Okay.
$11.
Ooh, nice.
It's a hard.
Pick a 2nd to do a medicine.
You can do it, my dear.
Let's do it on Peter. It's for Mom. No. Actually, let's do it on Raymond. Peter's got extra arms. It's going to be hard to explain at Thanksgiving. Ah. 49. Own 40. What could I use? 9 luck. That's a lot of luck.
That's a lot, but I will let you do that. Yep. So you barely pass on Raymond. And then if you want, I'll let you do a 3rd roll on Peter, but you won't get to push or luck spend on this one.
Okay. I'll give it a try.
You don't have to. I'm just...
It's my mother's brother.
Just leave him. He's kind of disgusting.
He's disgusting. It's the right thing to do, Saul.
How about this?
Can you hurry up? I'm
It's
fed
a
up with this
5.
baby.
It's a 5. It's fantastic. It's 5. Man, I'd really have liked to have done that. It's an extreme on Peter. 5.
All right. I believe, since we're short on time, I think we'll end everything there. You basically have completed the scenario. You pretty much solved and completed all your tasks successfully.
All right. So did we figure it all out?
Pretty much. I think you've got it. Basically, those last couple medicine rolls, that still was an extreme thing to go through, and it was, if you had failed those medicine rolls, they would have died. I probably would have said that Peter was probably too far gone, that you wouldn't have rescued him at the end anyway, but that's okay, you passed. Yeah, any questions?
Oh, why did they switch babies? Oh, wait, he told us that, didn't he? No. Why were the babies switched in the first place?
That is a good question. I'll get back to you on that.
Oh.
Because you did ask, I remember. I don't know why I'm still doing the accent. Now I can't stop. Great. Now I'm a British woman with a terrible Southern American accent.
Were they using the children for breeding purposes?
So, first of all, so I'm not familiar with Lovecraft's canon to know specifically how the ghouls are written. So I don't actually know if they need humans in order to survive like that. I think it alludes to the fact that they capture the human children and they bring them into the group of ghouls, and then they're basically raised as one of them, but they're still humans, so they can use the humans then to infiltrate and basically lead other humans either to them or, stage further kidnapping.
Oh, to go into the towns to get more boxes. Good eating in boxes.
Right. Yep. Takeout maybe.
Cool. That was a great scenario. Thought it was a lot of fun.
Everything come from boxes.
Our players included Mick Swan, John Byram, Ken Trench, and myself, with Jeff Wilkins as the keeper of the secrets. We're currently producing up to 5 shows a week with music and sound effects added in post-production in order to create a richer listener experience. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. The costs involved with the show are provided almost entirely by our patrons. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. If you'd like to become a patron, visit our Patreon account. Just $1 or $2 a month helps us a lot. You can find a link in the description below. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel and punch that bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answering any questions you might have. This is Tom Rayleigh, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.